The Great Gatsby was written by F. Scott Fitzgerald and published in 1925. The novel is set during the Roaring Twenties, a period of economic prosperity, lavish lifestyles, and social change in America after the First World War. Although many people became wealthy during this period, Fitzgerald believed that beneath the glamour were greed, loneliness, and moral decline. The story takes place on Long Island, New York. It is divided into two wealthy communities. West Egg represents newly rich families. East Egg represents old inherited wealth. This difference may seem small, but throughout the novel it becomes one of the biggest sources of conflict. Our narrator is Nick Carraway, a young man who moves to West Egg to begin a career in the bond business. Soon, he finds himself surrounded by people whose lives are far more complicated than they appear. Shortly after moving in, Nick notices an enormous mansion across the bay. Every weekend, the mansion hosts extravagant parties attended by hundreds of guests. Music fills the gardens, luxury cars line the driveway. People dance, drink, and celebrate until morning. Surprisingly, most of these guests have never met the owner. Rumors spread everywhere. Some believe he inherited his fortune. Others think he is a criminal. Eventually, Nick finally meets the mysterious host. His name is J. Gatsby. Contrary to the rumors, Gatsby is polite, humble, and unexpectedly kind. As Nick spends more time with him, he discovers the real reason behind Gatsby's extravagant lifestyle. Years earlier, Gatsby had fallen deeply in love with Daisy Buchanan. However, because Gatsby was poor at the time, Daisy eventually married the wealthy Tom Buchanan. Instead of forgetting her, Gatsby devoted his life to becoming rich. He purchased a mansion directly across the bay from Daisy's house, hoping that one day she would notice him again. Every night, Gatsby looks across the water toward a small green light at the end of Daisy's dock. For him, that light represents hope, love, and the dream of getting his past back. With Nick's help, Gatsby finally reunites with Daisy. At first, their reunion is joyful. Old feelings return, and Gatsby begins to believe that his dream is finally coming true. But one major obstacle remains: Tom Buchanan. Tom is proud, wealthy, and determined to keep control over his family. As the tension between Gatsby and Tom grows, long-hidden secrets begin to emerge. The conflict reaches its climax during a heated confrontation, where Gatsby's carefully built dream starts to collapse. From this moment onward, every character must face the consequences of their choices, without spoiling every detail for first-time readers. Fitzgerald leads the story toward one of the most tragic endings in American literature, and through that ending, he asks a question that still resonates today. Can we ever truly recreate the past?
Major characters. J. Gatsby is the central character. Although he becomes incredibly wealthy, his true goal is not money, but winning back Daisy. He represents ambition, hope, and the danger of chasing an impossible dream. Nick Carraway is the narrator. Unlike the other characters, Nick observes events with honesty and reflection. His perspective helps readers judge the actions of everyone around him. Daisy Buchanan represents beauty, privilege, and the complicated nature of love. While Gatsby sees her as perfect, Fitzgerald gradually reveals that she is far more flawed than Gatsby imagines. Tom Buchanan represents power, arrogance, and the privilege of old wealth. He believes that his social status gives him the right to control others. Together, these four characters drive every major conflict in the novel. Themes. One of the most important themes is the American dream. Gatsby believes that wealth can help him achieve happiness and reclaim the life he once imagined. Yet despite his success, he remains emotionally unfulfilled. Another major theme is illusion versus reality. Many characters hide behind appearances. Gatsby creates a new identity. His parties seem glamorous but are filled with strangers. Even relationships in the novel are not as genuine as they appear. Finally, Fitzgerald explores the danger of living in the past. Gatsby refuses to accept that people change over time. His inability to move forward ultimately becomes his greatest weakness.